Children, this last lesson, children, it's very interesting. For sure, you will love this lesson, children. If you concentrate on the explanation part, for sure, you will love the lesson. The entire lesson deals on the relationship between a student and the master. The lesson, no, it shows the sympathy of the teacher towards the students. It also says when a teacher resigns from his job, when the teacher leaves, or when the teacher leaves the school after working years together, when the teacher leaves the school, what sort of sadness the teacher faces, no children. The lesson narrates it. It shows the sadness of the teacher, how sad the teacher is to leave the school. And also, no, it says when you don't concentrate on the lesson that is taught by the teacher, and when the teacher leaves the school, obviously you will never learn the language better. The lesson is very interesting, children, where you really concentrate to the explanation part. For sure, you will love the lesson. With Unit 6 Prose, the last lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet. This lesson is set in the days of France-Prussian War. France was ruled by Bismarck. Prussia then consisted of what now are the nations of Germany, Poland and parts of Austria. The Prussians defeated the French and the districts of Alsace and Lorraine fell into the hands of the Prussians. The oppressors not only wanted the territory but dominated over the language and culture of the German, thus to take away their identity. Read the lesson to find out what impact this had on life at school. So this lesson, children, it was written when France, they had war with Prussia. France, no, it was ruled by Bismarck. At that time, no, Prussian, they considered of what now we call as Germany, Poland and no other parts of Austria. Here, Prussian, they defeated the France and the district in the France, no, the district of Alsace and Lorraine. This all, no, it fell in the hands of Prussian. Now, Prussian, they overruled on France. They not only want the territory domination, children, but they also started dominating on the culture of the Germans. Thus, to take away their identity, they want to take away the entire identity. So, they started dominating even on the language. Now, let us see what happens, children. What happens in the school when they dominate on the languages, what impact has on the school. Let us see. Now let us go on with the lesson, children. Now coming with the lesson, children. I started for school very late that morning and was in great dread of a scolding, especially because M. Hamel had said that he would question us on participle and I did not know the first word about them. Here, no, author, he narrates his school days. He says, he started for school, he was late to school and moreover he was in a great dread of school. He was scared that his master, he will question him on participle. Especially, children, being late, his master will scold him. And apart from that, master has said him the previous day that next day he will be questioning them on participle. And here he doesn't know anything on participle. So he was much scared for going to school. For a moment, I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors. It was so warm, so bright. The birds were chirping at the edge of the woods, and in the open field back of the sawmill, the Prussian soldiers were drilling. Participle. He was scared. One, he knows for going late he'll be punished. The other thing, when master questioned him, he'll be unable to answer him. So he thought, why should I go to school and get punishment? Instead, let me bunk the class and enjoy my day out of doors. The climate is so warm, the birds were chirping, it's enjoyable day. And moreover, the fields out of the in the edge of the woods and the open field, at the back of the field, Persian soldiers, they were drilling. All the exercise, it was going on. So he thought, let me enjoy the day watching all this wonderful scenery. It was all much more tempting. See, children, this is the classroom. He is M. Hamel. He is the master. You could see the scenario of classroom. Okay, master is waiting for children to enter the class. See, this is the master. Now, it was all much more tempting than the rule of participle. But I had the strength to resist and hurried off to school. Now, when thinking of the school, this nature was tempting him. The chirping sound of the birds, this greenish field, the drill done by Persian soldiers, this all, it was tempting him. And he thought, no, whatever it is, we should go to school. We should not bunk the class. He made himself, he strengthened himself, and he hurried off to school. He thought, let me get punishment, let me get scolding, but I should not bunk the class. I should not cut the school. Thinking that, he went to school. When I passed the town hall, there was a crowd in front of the bulletin board. For the last 2 years, all our bad news had come from there. The lost battle, the draft, the orders of the commanding officer, and I thought of myself without stopping, what can be the matter now? Now, when he was nearing to the school, he saw a crowd of people standing near the bulletin board. What do you mean by bulletin board, children? Over there, on that board, messages is posted in a public place. Bulletin board, in the sense, on that board, public messages will be written. Now, in a village, children, you could have seen people, they drum, they keep on drumming, and that is how they say the message. The moment people hear the drum sound, they'll come gather under a tree, and the messenger, he says the message. But here, there is a bulletin board. On the board, the message is written, and people, they read the message. Now, author, he thinks this bulletin board, for past 2 years, only bad news is set up on this board. Such as like lost of battle, then draft, commanding of the officers, and now don't know what message is written. Author is thinking, what bad message has been posted? No, I don't know. People, they are being gathered in a group to read the message that is written on the bulletin board. Then, as I hurried by as fast as I could go, the blacksmith watcher who was there with his apprentice reading the bulletin called after me, don't go so fast, Bob. You will get to school in plenty of time. Now, as author, he was hurrying to school. He was running. He was as fast as he was possible to reach the school. He was trying his best to reach the school at the earliest. At that time, this blacksmith, this watcher, and apprentice, other people all, they called him and said, why do you run? Don't run and go, walk and go slow. Don't worry, you will reach the school in time. You have plenty of time to go, they keep saying. Only he knows that he is getting late. So he started running to school. I thought he was making fun of me and reached M. Hamel's little garden out of breath. Now, author, he thought, these people, they are making fun of me. I should not come in their words. Instead, I should hurry up to school. And he ran to school. See, out of breath in the sense, when you run, obviously you breathe. Your breath goes faster. Usually, when school began, there was a great bustle which could be heard out in the street. The opening and the closing of desk, lessons repeated in unction, were loud with our hands over our ears to understand better, and the teacher's great rule rapping on the table. See, you would have known the scenario of school, children. In villages, moreover in villages you would have known, you would have seen in TV, how the school runs, how children they shout, how they repeat after the teacher. That is how schooling goes. Usually, school begins with a great bluster. Great bluster in the sense, you would have seen children when they enter the school, they don't enter calmly. They make noises. They keep talking one to other. They shout. They all things in an energetic manner. It happens. Bluster in the sense energetic manner, which could be heard outside in the street. The school sound, it could be heard out of the street. Then when the class opens, at the beginning of the class, you could see the opening and opening the desk. Children, they open the desk, they close. All this sounds is heard. Repeated in unction. Children, they repeat whatever master says. They keep repeating loudly. They repeat. Sometimes they close the ear. They tuck their finger. They insert the finger in the ears and they shout at the top of the voice to repeat what the master has said. Then ruler lapping on the table, and sometimes the teacher tapping the ruler in the sense scale. The teacher she taps the ruler on the table. All these sounds is heard in the school. Out of the school you could hear all these sounds. Even on the road when you walk, if the school is nearby the road, when you walk aside the school you will hear all these sounds. But now it was also still in the sense entirely it was calm, it was quiet. Now when author, when he was about to reach the school, everything was calm. There is no sound, no rapping, no tapping sound, no desk opening or closing. Everything was quiet. I had counted on the commission to get to my desk without being seen. But of course that day everything had to be as quiet as Sunday morning. The particular day when author he went late to school, children, at that time master didn't punish him. Very quietly he went to his place. Master didn't shout at him, he didn't punish him. Very quietly he went to his place and he settled in his place. Author says the particular day it seemed to him to be as Sunday. It was not Sunday, it was working day, but that particular day was so quiet that it seemed to him to be as a Sunday. Through the window, I saw my classmates already in their places, and M. Hamel walking up and down with his terrible iron ruler under his arm. I had to open the door and go in before everybody. You can imagine how I blushed and how frightened I was. That particular day it was so quiet that he thought he could just go and sit in his place where no one could notice him. Through the window, author he saw that his classmates, all they have opened the book, they were in the places, and Mr. Hamel, he is walking with his ruler up and down. He was walking with the scale, he is walking up and down, and author, he is saying, just imagine how I will enter the class and how will I go settle in my place. Just imagine, he is saying. It will, for any student it will be frightening, isn't it, children? When you go late to school and when master keeps walking up and down inside the class, moving here and there with the scale, at that time if you enter the class, just imagine what sort of punishment you will get. But nothing happened. M. Hamel saw me and said very kindly, go to your place quickly, little Franz. We were beginning without you. This, what is this boy's name? He is Little Franz. Okay. Now, author, but nothing happened. M. Hamel, he didn't shout at him, he didn't beat him, he didn't scold him. Very softly he said, go quick, go to your place and sit. We were beginning, we were about to start without you. Now go and settle down fast, he said. I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. Not till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that he was really, actually so long he was scared. But when master, he didn't shout at him when he asked him, go quickly, settle down in his place, he jumped over his place and he sat on the bench. And when he got a little over my fright, now he is out of fright. That fright, the frightening, it disappeared. See, this is the classroom, children. See how children they sit and learn. Just how you all sit in the classroom. Okay. A teacher had on his beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt, and the little black silk cap, all embroidered, that he never wore except on inspection and prize days. Now, Franz, he was wondering why teacher is in different dress. His dress is somewhat elegant. He never wear this type of dresses in ordinary days. Only prize day, any celebration in the school, any function in the school, only those days, only important days, the teacher wear this type of dress. And why is he wearing now? See, children, the dress, how it is described. The teacher, he was wearing beautiful green coat with frilled shirt and little black silk cap, all embroidered, that he never wear except on inspection and prizes. Yes. Franz, he is surprised. Why is sir wearing this special dress? That also on ordinary day, why is he wearing? What is special today? He was imagining. Besides, the whole school seemed so strange and solemn. But the thing that surprised me most was to see on the back bench that were always empty, the village people sitting quietly like ourselves, old Hauser with his three-cornered hat, the farmer mayor, the farmer postmaster, and several others besides. Now, Franz, he was wondered to see last bench, obviously, it is left vacant. It is empty last bench. But that particular day, the bench was filled up with all old people of the village. He could see old Hauser with his three corners hat and the farmer mayor, the farmer postmaster. All the old people, they were occupied. They occupied the last bench. What is the matter? Now, Franz, he kept thinking, why these old people have come to the school? Generally, they don't come. What made them to come to school? What made them to attend the class today? What is the important day? He kept thinking on all such matter. Everybody looked sad, and Hauser had brought an old premier, thumbed at the edge, and he held it open on his knees with his great spectacles lying across the page. What do you mean by thumbed, children? A book. Now, everybody, they look sad. The people, the village people who were sitting in the last bench, they all look sad. And Hauser, he brought some old premier thumb, old ledger book he brought. And he let it open on his knee with a great spectacle, he was wearing. All old people, where they wear a spectacle, across the pages. He kept turning the pages. And this was noticed by Hamel. Franz is surprised to see all this. While I was wondering about it all, young Hamel mounted his chair and in the same grave and gentle tone which he had used to me, said, "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you." Now finally, young Hamel, he got up from his chair, mounted in the sense he got up from his chair, and very gently he spoke to the children, as how softly he spoke to Franz, in the same soft tone he spoke to the children, saying that today he is going to teach the last lesson. Why he says today is going to teach last lesson, we'll see. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive. He says, children, today is the last lesson I am going to teach you, because the order has come from Berlin to teach you only Germany. You will not learn French hereafter, children. Today is the last French lesson I will teach you. Tomorrow a new master, teach only German in the school of schools of Alsace and Lorraine. Yes. So only Germany you will be reading. Tomorrow onwards you will read Germany, and new master is coming today. So today is your last French lesson, children, and I want you to be very attentive. No, Hammerly says, I want you to be very careful and very attentive. Today is the last lesson. Be careful, he said. What a thunderclap these words were to me. No, the moment master said today is the last lesson, I am going to leave the school, I am going to resign my job, a new master will come to you all, no? Franz, he was so happy, he felt as if thunder claps were around him, no, but he couldn't clap, okay, that happiness, he's expressing his happiness. Is it children, small children, no, when they come across that their master is going to leave and new master will come to them. Yes, children, by this, no, I'll stop the lesson, children. Part 1 gets over by this. We shall continue the lesson in part 2. The remaining part of the lesson we'll see in part 2.